The Quran, a source of strength in trials and tribulations. Have you ever felt like life was testing you beyond your limits? Have you ever wondered how to stay strong when the weight of difficulties feels unbearable? Hardships are a reality for all of humanity. Loss, failure, betrayal, uncertainty, and pain. Every person faces these challenges. Some people fall into despair while others emerge stronger. What makes the difference? The answer lies in who we turn to in our times of hardships. Without faith, people crumble under hardship. With the Quran, the heart remains firm no matter how strong the storm. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَكُلًّا نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الرُّسُلِ مَا نُثَبِّتُ بِهِ فُؤَادَكَ. And each of the stories of the messengers will relate to you so that we may make your heart firm. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His infinite mercy sends the Quran as a source of stability, hope and resilience, a lifeline for humanity to hold on to in the darkest moments. The Quran is humanity's anchor in difficult times, just as a ship needs an anchor to remain steady in the middle of a storm. Humans need spiritual stability to survive life's challenges. Without the Quran, people crumble under pressure. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends the Quran to guide. إِنَّ هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ يَهْدِي لِلَّتِي هِيَ أَقْوَمُ. Indeed, this Quran guides to that which is most upright in different times and specifically in times of difficulties. The Quran gives hope in despair. Quran is a strength in weakness. Quran gives clarity in times of confusion. It reminds us that every trial and hardship has wisdom, every hardship has ease, and every pain has a purpose. The Quran keeps us firm on the straight path, the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Life is full of distractions and temptations that can pull us away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Quran serves as a guiding light, ensuring that we stay on the right path even when we're faced with uncertainty. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, speaking about the Quran, keeping the believers firm in the most challenging of times. يثبت الله الذين آمنوا بالقول الثابت في الحياة الدنيا وفي الآخرة. Allah keeps firm those who believe with the firm word in this worldly life and in the hereafter. In the most challenging of times, when they are about to die, when they are in their grave, when they are resurrected, Allah keeps them firm. Without this divine guidance, humanity would be lost, constantly searching for meaning, searching for it in dunya, in desires, in worldly affairs, in entertainment, but never finding it. The Quran reminds us of our purpose to worship Allah and trust in Him even in the most challenging moments. The Quran brings light in times of darkness, in times of hardships and difficulties. When people go through struggles, they often feel lost, hopeless and disconnected, but the Quran is the light that brings them back to Allah. Allah said, Allah waliyu alladhina amanu yukhrijuhum min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur. Allah is the ally of those who believe. He brings them out of darkness into the lights. And Allah said, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ. And hold on firmly to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the rope of Allah is the Quran. Hablullah al-Mateen. No matter how difficult life becomes, turning to the Quran brings reassurance. It reminds us that Allah is always near. No hardship lasts forever. Every struggle is a path to spiritual growth. The believer who remains patient will be rewarded. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. For indeed with hardship comes ease. Indeed with hardship comes ease. We have in the Quran many stories of the prophets of Allah. We have lessons that we derive from the stories of those prophets to give us strength and patience. Allah did not leave us without examples of how to persevere through trials and tribulations. The Quran is filled with stories of those prophets who faced the most challenging hardships and difficulties and tests in life, yet remained steadfast and firm upon the straight path. Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, he was betrayed by his own brothers. He was sold into slavery and wrongfully imprisoned, yet his faith never wavered and Allah elevated him to a position of power and authority. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّهُ مَن يَتَّقِي وَيَصْبِرْ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. Indeed, whoever fears Allah and is patient, then indeed Allah does not allow the reward of those who do good to be lost. Prophet Ayub alayhi salam lost his health, his wealth, and his family, yet he never lost his gratitude and patience. His unwavering trust in Allah brought him healing and cure and medication, as Allah said, إِنَّا وَجَدْنَاهُ صَابِرًا نِعْمَ الْعَبْدُ إِنَّهُ أَوَّابٌ. Indeed, we found him patient. What an excellent servant. Indeed, he was one who repeatedly, constantly turned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another example from the Quran is Prophet Nuh alayhi salam. He preached for 950 years. He was calling his community to the path of Allah for 950 years, facing constant rejection and mockery, yet he remained committed to his mission. فَاصْبِرْ إِنَّ الْعَاقِبَةَ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. So be patient, indeed the outcome is for the righteous and pious. There is a profound hadith to reflect on. Our beloved Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave us a golden key to surviving life's challenges. He said, تعرف إلى الله في الرخاء يعرفك في الشدة. Remember Allah in times of ease, and He will remember you in times of hardship. This means that our connection with the Quran should not be temporary. It's not a temporary connection. We shouldn't turn to it only when we are struggling or going through hardships. Instead, if we build a strong connection or a strong relationship with the Quran in good times and times of ease, it will be our greatest companion in times of hardship. Finally, will you hold on to the Quran? Every human being will face hardships, calamities and challenges, but those who hold on to the Quran will remain firm, while those who neglect it will be lost. Remember, the Quran is not just a book, it is a source of strength in times of pain. It is a reminder of purpose when life feels meaningless. It is a guide that keeps us on the straight path. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَنْ يَعْتَصِمْ بِاللَّهِ فَقَدْ هُدِيَ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. And whoever holds firmly to Allah has certainly been guided to a straight path. The question is, will you hold on to the Quran and allow it to be your anchor in this life? The choice is ours. Let's make the Quran our constant companion, not just in hardship, but also in times of ease.